What's up, everybody? Mark here from Coffee&Toys, here to give you another MOTU Origins figure unboxing and review. And let me tell you, I've been excited about this one. This one, when I first heard it, I was not very excited until I learned about a special feature with it. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. Of course, what I am talking about is the new Skeletor and Screeech Deluxe 2-pack from Mattel. Let's talk about it. So yeah, when this was announced, I didn't realize that this was actually something that came out in the 80s. It was one of the few MOTU figures sets I didn't own. I never had Screeech. I had plenty of Skeletors, but I never realized that they had put them together as a 2-pack. And honestly, I'm assuming it was just a standard Skeletor with Screeech. I don't think it was like a battle armor one. Yeah, I think it was. I'm trying to remember the pictures I've seen of the original, but I did not know that was a thing. So when they announced this, I was like, oh, that's cool. This used to be a thing. And then, of course, you saw the kind of wacky color scheme they've given it, which I really dig. MOTU's always done weird color variations on figures, especially with the 2000X line. So, hey, if you're going to give me another Skeletor and you're going to put him in wacky, fun colors, sign me up. Now, I don't know. Maybe if you can tell me, maybe this figure is based on something that I'm not aware of. Maybe some sort of outside the U.S. version that I'm not aware of. But it definitely looks cool. Screeech, of course, looks just like the Screeech from the original toy. So I don't know what else to talk about. We should just dig into it. So let's go. So here we have it. Skeletor and Screeech Deluxe Figure 2-pack Collector's Edition, inspired by vintage artwork. Make wings flap, snap-on battle backpack. So this is almost like the original figures I mentioned earlier. The artwork's nearly identical. Of course, Skeletor comes in this new color scheme. And man, this artwork is just beautiful. I'm glad they didn't deviate too far from the original, but man, that just looks great. I'm gonna pan up so we can look at it. You got Snake Mountain in the background over here. And of course, as we put the figure back a little bit so we can see it, we're showing you how to use the wings. Pretty standard. Looks great in the box. If you are a mint in-box collector, this just looks fantastic. And of course, as we roll around to the side, we have some nasty birds, bird demon things. We've got some bones on this side, but of course the back is really where the artwork shines. So Skeletor commands the vicious Screeech to bring his enemies to their knees with his piercing cry. And then of course we have, I can't remember the name. I don't think it's actually supposed to be the sorceress, but somebody dropped me a comment. I can't remember what the bird's name is. I didn't have that bird either whenever I was growing up. But yeah, I mean, this is just fantastic. I like this just desolate land with nothing but volcanoes and Skeletor, of course. And then, of course, you have the how to use the Screeech figure. Push to make wings flap, slide over Screech's head, snap together, battle backpack. And, of course, down at the bottom, you have your typical cross-sell with Point Dread and Talon Fighter, King Randor from the kind of 2000X inspired Slamurai, Skeletor and Screeech, of course, and the Evil Warriors. And then the Snake Men, we have Snake Tila and the Snake Trooper. So, wow, just a great set. So, with that said, through the power of editing, I will be back in a moment with this out of the package. Okay, I have gotten Screeech and Skeletor out of their packaging. And one thing to note before we step away from the packaging was that there was no comic included. There was no diagram illustrating what parts of Skeletor's body came apart like you see with most of the He-Man MOTU Origins figures. No comic, no instructions, no nothing. Just the figures and the accessories in the box that you see from the outside. At least there was nothing in mine. So, but with that said, I have them out of the box, and we'll start with Screeech here. So Screeech is just a repaint of Zor, and that's the name I was forgetting earlier of the Eternian bird. But it's the exact same figure, and we will compare at the end. But nothing too crazy here, just your typical, you push the lever right here, and of course you get that flight motion, kind of just plastic / rubber wings, and he does have some very piercing red eyes, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, of course, Screeech does come with his stand. It's the exact same stand that Zor came with. So you just clip them right on there. And then the same for the battle, whatever you want to call this, headdress, I don't know. Just slides over, and I believe you have to pull these tabs out a little bit to get them to kind of fit over the back of the wing, or the back part of the tail. And there you go. It's just an additional, now he's top heavy actually, so I don't know if I don't have it on there precisely correctly. It's very flimsy, or not flimsy, but this is a very malleable plastic. It's not rubbery like the wings, but it's definitely kind of, yeah, he is not sitting on there very well at all. Let me see if I turn him around the other way, if that makes it any better. There we go. So there you have it. You have Screeech with his perch, his headdress, whatever you want to call it, battle pack, and he's ready to rock and roll for Skeletor all day. But now, to the man of the hour, the man with the power, or the man who wishes he had the power, Skeletor. And let me tell you, this is a fantastic face for Skeletor. Now, I'm sure you're as excited as I am. This is an articulated jaw, so you can, with a little bit of work, get that jaw to move up and down to your heart's content. And man, if this Skeletor was in original colors, he would be my number one Skeletor. That jaw looks perfect. It just looks so much better knowing it can move, because it's not just painted anymore, and it's not just only open. Oh, Mattel, you know they're going to be re-releasing this head in a classic color scheme. They've got to. But man, that looks great. I'll get it nice and close up for you so you can see it. Man, that's fantastic. And I mean, I will admit it's a little hard to move it easily. I mean, I guess actually it's moving now. If it gets too far down, it doesn't really want to open back up, and you have to get your nail under it and kind of push it back. But even like that, it looks great. I mean, that's a solid face sculpt. So thank you, Mattel, for making him with a adjustable, movable jaw. But overall, the head is, same size. It's not overly huge. At first, I thought the hood looked a little huge, but it's just because it has this opening at the bottom for when you actually open that jaw down, which makes it look a little big, but nothing major once you realize why it's that way. So yeah, otherwise you've got a very standard Skeletor with this light purple and then kind of this reddish, orangish tint that just goes, not so much on the legs. The legs are just kind of that same purple that's on the outer edges, but that orange, let me see if I can make that show up a little better with my light. I don't know if it's going to look any better or not, to be honest. But yeah, so you can see how it's got that orange mixed in with it. It's very cool. It's a very, almost like a copper in a way, but definitely cool. Definitely glad to have that. So of course, Skeletor also comes with two main accessories. He comes with the Havoc staff, also with that orangish copper on it. And of course it fits right into Skeletor's hand, like so. And then he also comes with his version of the Power Sword, which is cast just in the purple of the same tone as the staff and his armor. But there's no orange/copper in it. It's just one solid purple, a lighter purple than the other versions of the sword. So, Very cool. So there we have Skeletor all geared up. Like I said, he just came with 2 accessories. And of course he has Screech, which I will say is interesting. It's cool that they gave Screech classic colors, but at the same time, those colors don't match off with this Skeletor. I'm sure this was just produced so that they could, if a fan wanted a MOTU Origins version of the classic toy, they've got it now, but they probably didn't want to pack it with the exact same Skeletor. So they decided to, you know, add the adjustable lower, the mandible, and then mix it up with some fun colors. Now, they could have just skipped out and given us an exact same Skeletor. As a matter of fact, we'll jump into the reviews here in just a second. But they didn't, and I can appreciate Mattel doing that for us. So, as far as compares, let's just slide this version of Skeletor over here, and we will put in the first version of Skeletor that we got, just as a comparison. So actually I'll pull them both up here so you can see side to side. If I can get Skelly to stand up. And so yeah, you tell me, which one do you think looks better? I really am, okay, we got a winner right there. I am really digging that head sculpt. Not that there's anything wrong with the head sculpt we got. I mean, this is a fantastic head sculpt too, but man, this one is just solid. Just redo this head sculpt with those colors, and I am sold. I will not need another Skeletor. Now watch, they won't do that now that I've mentioned it. But yeah, so there's a quick little comparison of the Skeletors. And if I can get, once again, get Skelly to stand up while I move this one off to the side. And then, of course, we're going to compare Screech with Zor. And again, it's not, matter of fact, I'll just move Skeletor out of the way. Like I said, it's not really that surprising that these two, I mean, identical, just like it was back in the 80s. Same exact figure. You had to have one for the good guys, you had to have one for the bad guys. So, you know, no difference there. I will say this, wow, okay. Now this plastic is a lot more firm than this one. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. This one feels a lot more, just kind of comparing the fronts of them. See, you can almost tell. This one over here is slightly warped right here on the bottom, and this one's not. This plastic just seems a bit more firm than this one. So maybe different factory or different method of producing it, but definitely a little softer, so to speak, with this one, at least in my version. So if you get the figures, you let me know. But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll put Zor off to the side, and we will bring Skeletor back out. And yeah, just my final thoughts as I'm trying to stand old Boneface back up. Here, I'll cheat. There we go. You ever do that with your figures? Just cheat to make them stand? Final thoughts on this figure is solid. Love it. Glad that people are able to get a Screech out of the deal. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer. They'd already made Zor. We knew we were going to get this at some point. I don't think anyone was expecting this version of Skeletor because it is super cool and definitely a first for the line. Yeah, if you see this, I got mine from Entertainment Earth. Of course, Big Bad Toy Store, all the major e-tailers have them. I don't know if this will be found in stores, but it is dropping right now. So if you have your pre-orders in, if you haven't already got it, make sure you get it for sure. I believe this was $35 from Entertainment Earth, right around there. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment, leave a like. You've hung out with me this far. I put out 1 to 2 videos a week. On weekends, I do Coffee and Toys, just catching up on news, talking about what I've purchased, what's going on, what I like, what I don't like, what you guys want to talk about, anything of that nature. Final thing, after you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are on the march to 500 subscribers. I'm giving away multiple prizes whenever we hit 500. Who knows, maybe I'll do a live stream and give away something completely off the wall while in a live stream. 500, that's the big number I'm looking for, and I need you guys to help me. So hit like, it helps that YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button, make sure you set it to all notifications, and otherwise, I'll see you later.